Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on BetCraft. It's another very wonderful Saturday morning, and once again we are back with our predictions. Always what we do, looking at football games that are happening across the globe and getting stacks on each of these games, and using those stacks we come up with the verdict of these very matches and for bringing it forward for you. That's what we do on a daily basis, and we've been doing so very well in recent times, and we've seen that the past days we've been doing so very well, winning our games. And yesterday wasn't up to that standard, although we won 3 games out of 5 yesterday. But we hope to do very well today and achieve our aim and see that our tickets goes green across boards today. And so that's why we'll be looking at these matches one after the other, because we already have them lined up, as usual. But I want to ask the first who are coming across our video for the first time that are yet to subscribe. If you're yet to do that, take out time to hit the subscription button right now so that you won't be missing out on our subsequent football predictions that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. All right. That being said, without further ado, we head to the business of today, and we'll be starting with the very first match. It is in England, the Premier League. We'll have a Southampton. We'll be facing, Aston Villa. All right. When you look at recent stats for both sides, you can see for Southampton, they managed just a draw in the last 6 games, and they've lost 5 games out of those 6 matches. And the way side, Aston Villa have won 5 games in the last 6 games, and losing just one, which happened in the Champions League against PSG on that occasion. And when you look at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see they're playing from home. Southampton have managed just one win and one draw, but have lost the 8 matches out of the last 10 home matches that they have so far. That tells you how poorly they've been so far. And the way side, Aston Villa, on the other hand, have won 5 games and a draw in the last 10 away games and losing 4 matches, including the one that lost in the Champions League. So it is Aston Villa who has been showing much more promise, and they'll be looking to do very well in this very tie. Also noting the fact that they need to move up the table in order to secure European spot for next season. And on head-to-head basis, we know that Aston Villa also won the last 4 meetings between this side. I've seen Aston Villa winning all 4. The last meeting was actually in December of last year, and Aston Villa won on that occasion by 1 goal to 0. So we'll be expecting the away side, winning in this very one, or away side to win outrightly. That's what we're ready for that very encounter. We win. That's what we expect. Okay, and the next is in the Spanish Liga, where we'll have Leganés, we'll be facing FC Barcelona. Okay, for Leganés, it's just a win and a draw in the last 6 matches, and also 4 losses out of those, 6 games. And for Barcelona, they've actually won 5 games and a draw in the last 6 games. They've been doing so very well, and as you see that Barcelona is actually flying high at the moment. And when you look at how they fared from home and away perspective, you can see that in the last 10 home games for Leganés, it is 2 wins and 2 draws, but have also lost 6 matches out of the last 10 home matches. And for the away side, FC Barcelona, they've won 9 games in the last 10 away matches, and they've also had 1 draw. They've not lost any single match, since the beginning of the year. And we know that we saw the level of football they've been playing. They're doing so very well at the same time. So we saw them against Dortmund doing so very well. On a head-to-head basis, the last time both teams met was Legan who won, but Barcelona have been dominating this very time. The last 10 meetings I've actually seen Barcelona winning 9 times out of 10, and Legan is winning 1, which happened to be the last meeting for both sides. And Barcelona will be looking to avenge this very loss that happened in December of last year, and also be looking to maintain their stance, in the La Liga standings, knowing that Real Madrid is just around the corner. So you expect Barcelona to take advantage of this very encounter and win out shortly. I will start to win. That's what we expect for that very game. And the next time is in the Belgium Pro League, where we expect we'll have Union Saint-Gilloise will be up against Ekstraklasa. Right, Union Saint-Gilloise in the last 6 matches, I've seen 5 victories and 1 loss out of those 6 games that they had recent times. It's a team in fine form, and Anderlecht on the other hand have won 2 games and 4 losses out of the last 6 matches that they had so far. Looking at how these two teams have performed from home and away, basically you could see that the last 10 home games for Union Saint-Gilloise have produced 7 victories for Union Saint-Gilloise, and also 1 draw, but have lost 2 matches, in the last 10 home matches for Union Saint-Gilloise. And the way side on the other hand, Anderlecht, the last 10 away games, I've seen them achieving 4 victories and a draw, but I've also lost 5 matches out of the last 10 away games that they had. Also losing the last 2 away games to Club Brugge and Westerlo by 2 goals to 0 on each occasion. And the last time both teams met was in February of this very year, we saw St. Louis from away beating this very side by 2 goals to 0, and that tells you that the St. Louis have been in fine form, and the spirit side between these two sides. So we'll be expecting St. Louis, the home side, to rise to the occasion in this one and win this match outrightly. So it is home side to win. That's what we expect. And the next is in Northern Ireland, the Premiership, and where we have Linfield who will be coming up against Dungannon Swift, and Linfield have won 5 games out of 6, losing 1, and Dungannon have won just one win and 2 draws, losing 3 games in the last 6 matches. And from home and away perspective, you can see that Linfield in the last 10 home matches have won 9 games out of those. Last 10 home matches, losing 1 to Coleraine, and which Dungannon have managed to achieve 5 victories and 2 draws, losing 3 matches in the last 10 away games that they have so far. And on head-to-head basis, Linfield have actually dominated the last 6 meetings, winning on 5 times out of those, and Dungannon winning just once. So in this very one, we expect the home side at Linfield to continue the dominance against this right side, and it is at home side to win out shortly. That's what we expect. And the next is in Poland, Polish Ekstraklasa, the first division in Poland, where we have Rakow Częstochowa will be up against Radom. Okay, when you see that the recent games for these two sides, you see that Rakow have actually won 4 games and a draw, and losing just 1 out of the last 6 games, and as well as Radom winning 4 games and a draw, losing 1 in the last 6 matches. All right, and when you look at how they fared on home and away basis, you see that the home side Rakow have actually been able to achieve 6 victories and 2 draws in the last 10 home matches, but have also lost 2 matches out of those. And the away side for play from away at the Radom have actually won 5 games and 5 losses in the last 10 away games. All right, and I tell you that Jamaica is actually a very fine side, and on head-to-head basis, you can see that Rakow actually, have been dominating the meetings between these two sides, winning the last meeting, which will happen there in October of last year, winning from away by 2-0 on that occasion. And in this very one, they'll be looking to achieve a good result against the Mike, and we'll be expecting to see the home side to not lose probably. We expect the home side either win or draw, and yet under 4.5. So home win or draw and under 4.5. That's all right for that very game. Yeah, okay. And that takes us to the next for the day. Also in Poland, the league, second division, where we have Chobi Glogo who will be up against Akagenia. All right, and when you look at the recent games for these two sides, it is 2 victories and 1 draw for the home side Glogo. And they've also had 3 losses out of those recent games that they had. And the Agenia, the away side, have won 5 games and a draw in the last 6 matches. All right, and when you look at how these two teams fared from home and away basis, we see that playing from home, Glogo have managed to achieve 6 victories and 2 draws, but have also lost they've also lost 2 matches out of those 10 home matches that they had so far. In the away side, Genia have won 8 games and 2 draws, losing none in the last 10 away games that they have so far. And on head-to-head basis, you could see that the last 2 meetings for both sides saw Genia winning on those 2 occasions. And in this very one, we'll be expecting the away side of Genia, who has been topping the league at the moment, to rise to the occasion once again. And we'll be expecting the away side either winning or draw, and yet on the 4.5. That's all valid for that very game. And that brings our predictions for you today to a conclusion. Wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Remember to also play responsibly, as these are football matches. Sometimes it might come up with a surprise. But before we go, we have one bonus tip for you. It is in Italian Serie C, what we have as Spal and Potendera, and that value for that very game is actually our way side to win. And I expect you to play this one separately, and it's a big odd, 3.2. Try it out and see how it goes. All right, tomorrow is another day. We'll be back with our predictions. Do not miss out. But until that time, keep winning.